born and raised here in Tuscarawas County and actually graduated from Tusky Valley. And growing up, I was not aware of Rainbow Connection. So coming back to the area in the administrative role, I worked with the previous elementary principal, and she was a huge supporter of the Rainbow Connection. And so we would get together every year and come up with some fun activities. We actually have a Rainbow Connection week to get the kids excited about generosity and giving and community support. So activities such as we always have a rainbow picture. So every grade level, every classroom is given a different type of t-shirt to wear, or different colored t-shirt, so that we have a great rainbow picture of the student body, and have it in the yearbook every year, try to publicize it, because it's a great representation of what we do for our community. In order to raise money, though, we have things like popcorn day. They can purchase popcorn that we make down in the cafeteria and eat at recess. We also let the kids purchase tickets to go into a raffle to have lunch with their favorite staff member. And that seems to be the biggest response for our fundraising. Kids are really excited about maybe choosing a time to be just with a staff member. But the entire week is really about community involvement and generosity. And so we try to get them excited in different ways. Silly sock day, wearing hats, wearing your Tusky Valley Trojan Pride colors, because that's what we're doing. We're showing pride for our community. And we try to change it up every year, but it's a similar theme. It's about giving back to our community. And our parents are a huge part of that. They have been very generous in their donations. But I also think it's about awareness of what our community resources are there for. I was born and raised in Tuscarawas County and didn't know the Rainbow Connection existed. So we want to make sure that they're aware and that they can reach out if they have a need that they need to fulfill, that they can touch base with the Rainbow Connection, and that could be a possibility for them.
Rainbow Connection has been around long before I circled back to Tuscarawas County and entered education. But I grew up in New Philly, and I was like you. I didn't know Rainbow Connection going through school, went away, went to college, worked in Columbus for a while, and then returned here to Tusky Valley to work with this amazing team. And after my second year here, Mr. Murphy asked me to come on board onto the administration team and become the special education director. And at the time, I wasn't quite sure what the job entailed or where resources came from and how to connect students and parents to resources. Obviously, public education, we work in a strict budget, and we have lots of things to cover within that budget. And it takes a lot of support to support students with disabilities. And my very first community resource was the Rainbow Connection. And if I'm remembering correctly, I would say that was about 14 years ago when I wrote my first grant and sent it in. And I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be pages and pages of application to get what we need. And then that was my experience with grant writing prior. And the Rainbow Connection made it so easy. They made it very easy and accessible to get what we needed. I could not believe the quick yes that we got. If it's good for kids, if it supports our community, it was always a yes. And that's what we loved here at Tusky Valley. So some of the things in the beginning were very much equipment for students for access to classroom. A stander, we had a stander once that you supported us to get. We had a lift that we needed. We have older buildings, so accessibility, lifts. And then came on board, probably within my second year as director, sensory rooms. That was the new boom. So getting sensory materials and adapting rooms. At least 2 to 3 rooms here at Tusky Valley have been supported in some way through the Rainbow Connection. Since then, things have shifted even more. Not only do students with disabilities need sensory supplies, but now we have a large influx of students coming to us with trauma, and they need what we're calling a time and space room. And this is one of those rooms that we're sitting in now that you help to support, to give students a peaceful place to come and to relax and to reboot and to be able to go back to their classrooms in a healthy way. So this was a room that you also supported. Our high school also has a room that we call the Hope Squad room. It's the recharge room, and that was supported by the Rainbow Connection as well. So we were able to renovate that space and create a place that high school students can come to. They also get mentored there, and they have students which are called Hope Squad members that assist them when they're in when they're in crisis, I would say, and they help to support them to be able to get to the right resources.
Tuscarawas County is home, and it's where we want to be. I love Tuscarawas Valley Local Schools. I love living and raising our family in Tuscarawas County. There's no other place that I would want to be. And we've been very, very blessed. And one of our key core values of our school district is that we be generous and that we are engaged with our community, not just asking things from our community, but that we are engaged with them. So this is a perfect opportunity. Tuscarawas County Rainbow Connection has been something that's been near and dear to our hearts for a very long time. This is my 16th year as superintendent, and even prior to me coming here, Diana Flickinger, who was one of our elementary principals at the time, I know deep down, I know that she helped spearhead our involvement as a school district in connecting with the Rainbow Connection and supporting it. And the reason is to be generous, but also then we knew we could seek funding from a local source that would benefit our children and our families and our community. And so again, for 16 years, we have we've submitted grants, we've submitted requests. Katie and Andrea shared some of those things. I was just looking back at notes. 6 years ago, it was summer of 2015, and our school district needed to buy a walker. It was a portable lift, if you will, but it was like a stair tread climber, to the tune of about $16,000. That first, when we knew that that's what we needed to do because of an 85-year-old building with a young man that needed to navigate stairs, and we knew that he could not navigate 3 floors of stairs and have accessibility, and we got the cost estimate, and then the first phone call I made was to the Rainbow Connection. And just like Mrs. Wells said, the response was, you submit that, provide the estimate. The answer is yes. And that young man has benefited all of these years for the past 6 years, and other kids actually. So we're just very, very grateful to be able to contribute to the Rainbow Connection. And I know that there's probably a list somewhere of over the years of all of the ways that Tuscarawas Valley Local School District has benefited from the Rainbow Connection. So we're honored. We're very, very honored every single year that we get to contribute. So when our staff, when we do dress down days or jeans days on a Friday, and we say, hey, any donation, it's all going to be contributed and turned over to the Rainbow Connection. Well, tomorrow will be our third one for this year. That, along with some of the activities that Mrs. Clements just rattled off about, engaging with our kids and our families so that they can support, and even if it's 25 cents for a ticket to have lunch with their favorite staff member, that all adds up, and we are pleased and thrilled to be able to contribute. So, thank you.